Okay. We should be live. Yep, we are live.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to the Hot Dog Radio. Hot Dogs Radio.
They call them glizzies now, dude. You heard that?
I have. Chomping down on the glizzy.
I always thought that was like a gun, but
I think I always thought it was but I think it's different than a hot dog, because I think a hot dog is like more slender. Isn't a glizzy more like a kind of like a brat?
oh, is it?
Like equal comparison, maybe. I don't know. That's like in an Australian slang, right? Like the glizzy, like, oh yeah, chomping down on some glizzies. Right?
Maybe I'm trying to put this light in a place that's not gonna reflect off my glasses. So I can't really be talking about Australia very much. But
I think that's home of the glizzies.
Australia.
Australia.
This is not working. How about this? Should I just keep it like this the whole time, or
If
how
you
does
can
that look?
if you can levitate the object, then I think that would work.
Okay, I'm just gonna put it here.
I feel like I should get a light at some point. I just use like I have a convenient like light placed, like, well, not placed, but it just is a part of the the house, the apartment. It's just right up there, and it kind of deflects down, and I figure it's good enough, but sometimes I feel like it's not very consistent, you know?
Well, we got some major yin yang vibes right now, because everything's dark except for this one spotlight, which is just totally in the wrong fucking place. God, this is insane.
Oh, that's pretty close.
I know, but then I'm not. My whole face just looks like I'm in the darkness. You know, you can't even see my face.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a shadow that comes down.
Well, my head just disappears. Because I could do this, but then all of a sudden, then you're just looking up at me. That's what I was doing before.
That's not a bad angle. That works.
All right, we're rolling with this.
Oh no, I forgot to change the Okay, 1 second. Let me change the title of the screen, the stream, if I can actually. I haven't done this before. Change the title of the stream.
Midstream.
Yeah, during the. Maybe we just keep it the same, but I can change it later.
Does it say episode 4 again?
It does. I bet you it does.
That's okay.
The chat's getting in the way. 1 second.
Cause you know I'm so humble.
I want to try to fix this. Let's see. I can edit it.
I don't care. This episode after we fucking cut all this opening stuff out of the fucking episode, dude. I don't know if that's possible. Bar none, I am the most humblest. Number one. Cause you know I'm so humble.
Okay, that's looking good. I hope nothing like ended up going to the other side of the screen. I'm trying to keep it contained over here, but all right, that should be good. All right, everything's all set up. We got a new title. I'm trying to figure out a way to entice someone to click on this stream if it shows up in the recommended. That's the hope. So I've gone with a very extreme title, but I think it's actually quite fitting, if you ask me, because
It's Yom Kippur.
not only is it Yom Kippur, is it Yom Kippur? anyways, if it is Yom Kippur, not only is it Yom Kippur, the YouTube algorithm, they've been showing our videos to a very interesting group of audience based off of like the videos that they're recommending our live stream on, at least the last episode. And so I brought this up here. For a moment, this is going to look really a little bit crazy. Give me a moment here. Okay, we got that. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. Let's see here. Screen 1. Okay. It's going to be a little bit dicey at the moment, but hopefully...
Oh.
Can you see this?
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
This is a screenshot that you took, right?
The stream can see it too. They can't see us right now, but they can see this. And this is the important part here. This is the important part, because what I've noticed is, look at these 3 videos that's where most of our traffic is coming from, apparently. The first one is embrace being the bad guy. Keep it 100. What's
that emoji on there?
That's a little 100 emoji, you know? Like, oh, sick dude, 100, yeah. I don't know what that video is, but then it goes down to, I could change him, ... question mark. Watching American Psycho, and I think it's like for the first time or something. What are you talking about? American Psycho? You can change him?
You've seen that movie, right?
I have, yeah.
It's basically, spoiler alert, he murders everyone he knows.
Yeah. And you could change him? I don't know why, like, okay, in the video, I have to admit something here. The video is called Nut. That is the title of the video. And that could explain this last one. Ear blowing and cupping, purring, kisses, and more. I'm assuming that's some kind of like ASMR video or something. But what the hell? Anyways, I'll switch it back to us. Let me just pop us back. Oh, that looks a little bit messed up. 1 second. Okay, we're back.
Wait,
what's up with that?
Here's the thing. So these are the people watching our video and then going there, or they're coming from there to see our stuff?
I think it's just what, like, the top videos that recommend our content, at least from that video, that's recommending the last live stream, and it's called Nut. So I'm not like it's not like I'm surprised that maybe like the weird kind of like sexual ASMR thing had it on there, but I mean, is that really what our audience is? And they like are into like some weird incel like I can save him. I can save the murder guy. Oh, like, and just how like so a lot of like incel content. Maybe it's just because I'm on the internet a lot, but a lot of the like them like prescribe like the American Psycho guy to be like some kind of hero. Like they think he's like a badass. They're like, oh, sick dude. Oh yeah, he doesn't care about anybody. They think that he's great. And so I just don't know where our content is going. And then the first one, I don't even know what that is. Like just being the bad guy or something. Like this is
it's
just
probably along the same lines. Like they think that Jason Bateman, the guy that's in American Psycho, they think he's a badass. And he is the bad guy, but he also like fits into social norms so obviously, because that's like his precision is like getting away with being a murderer. And I think just be the bad guy, it falls in that same category, you know?
It definitely does. And then they go apparently to bed at night and they listen to like purring, ASMR, and kisses before they go to sleep. And then they watch our podcast, which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, keep watching.
Yeah, I just think it's funny. Oh, one thing I did notice is that you got your acoustic guitar in frame now. So it's not only black everywhere. And you did wear a black shirt though, so I think that actually makes it worse than before because you were wearing a gray shirt before.
I did. You know, I could switch around the guitars, but I figure like after the last episode, I'm sticking with the black theme. You've got like a
Yeah.
red theme going on, you know?
African American theme.
Oh, not like I would never paint my face. I'm just a shirt.
You never paint your face because you don't want to clog your pores.
And yeah, I also don't want to be like Justin Trudeau. That'd be bad.
Well, that'd be hard because you were born in America.
True. But if I painted my face black, you know, I could be pulling a Trudeau, and then I might be considered a Canadian. I don't want that.
But don't the Navy SEALs paint their face?
Yeah, all of them are Canadian.
Oh. In the United States military, the faction of the Navy SEALs are all Canadian, huh? Oh,
Yep, every single one of them.
very interesting. Because I always thought they were Japanese.
You know, some of them could be, but if they paint their face, they're Canadian.
Oh,
They're Canadian Japanese.
Canadian, Japanese. Yeah, man. I was just thinking today, there's like this thing in chemistry where they have like all these particles and then you multiply them by this number and then like you figure out how heavy something is. And that's a big number. So if you want to learn about that, we could do this visualization where we imagine like somebody walking around the earth and then they were like, oh shit, I'm Jesus.
Is like what what chemical compounds makes up Jesus? That's my question.
Jesus is a state of mind.
I just wonder, like, does someone that is like supposed to be the Son of God, is he like made up of mostly water like us, or maybe he was mostly made up of wine, and that explains why he turned water into wine? Maybe he's like, maybe it's wine that's like the the blood of Christ. It's made out of supposedly wine. It's like, whenever at church, the symbol of the wine is supposed to symbolize the blood. Maybe he was 90-something% blood wine.
So you're saying, is Jesus even made up of the same material as us?
Yeah. Mm.
So you're asking, like, if people drink wine, if they're more like Jesus?
See, I don't know.
I wonder that. I wonder that, but I also wonder, like, there's, like, sometimes if you eat these little square cheese crisps, if that makes you more like Jesus,
He's made out of bread. Bread and
What
wine.
did he turn? Because he turned bread into fish, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because he turned bread into fish, and then he became a fish, and that's how he became a submarine and walked under the water, right?
That sounds pretty accurate. Just as a side note, if somebody turned my bread into fish, I'd be a little mad. I'd be pissed.
But if someone turned your salmon into bread, you might be a little bit deficient.
Yeah, my omegas, my omega-3s might be at a loss there. And salmon is pretty good, but I would be... Depends on the proportions, what's the value that I'm getting? Like, did he turn like a slice of bread into a whole salmon? I'm thinking, all right, this is not a bad trade. If he's turning a whole loaf of bread into like half a salmon or like a smaller salmon, I'm mad.
I thought you were Sam. That's fine.
I could be. Back then, I could be.
Well, you were talking about omegas too, and I know, I know a lot of people like it wasn't good to say God's name in vain, but I'm sure they're saying Ome God a lot.
I mean, someone might be saying like, "Damn it!" If they all of a sudden their foods start like, "God damn it!" If their foods start turning into different objects and they can't keep track of their nutritional values anymore, their macros, ruining it.
Oh, I get it now. It's the mackerels. Again, a fish.
Exactly. And a
Okay.
mackerel is like to me less quality than a salmon. So if you're turning my bread into a mackerel, that's it. I'm cursing the Lord's name. I'm pissed. Now, if you turn my water into wine and I'm really thirsty, like I'm dehydrated, I'm also going to be angry. But if I'm just fine and I'm like I have all this water and then someone turns it into wine, I'm pretty happy. So it depends on the conditions, Like you can't be, fucking with my food supply.
Yeah. And it sounds like Jesus is just like maybe he had like a food truck back in the day and he was kind of just doing a pyramid scheme with people's food objects.
You know? I think he's like a giant prankster. I think he was running around like punking people, kind of like what's the name of that guy? He was the Ashton Kutcher of his day. He'd run around and he'd be like, "Oh, bro, now you don't have any water." And someone's like, "It's a desert, of course." Like they're in a desert, and everyone's like, "Oh, fuck, damn it! How am I gonna stay hydrated off of this?"
Yeah, what if Jesus was just pulling this huge prank on these people?
Yeah, exactly. He's running into people's houses. He's like, "Aha! Now you have a bunch of fish in your house," and it's like, "Fuck, I can't eat all this stuff. It's gonna go bad. It's gonna smell bad now." He does it to people who don't even know it. They have like a loaf of bread in their cupboard, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so excited for that. I'm gonna have it with like, we're having some barbecue. It's gonna be great." Bam, and the fish, and then all of a sudden it just starts smelling, and you're like, "God."
Because they didn't know it. Because it changed when they didn't know, and it was just rotting in their cupboard.
Yeah, yeah. This is the biggest prank.
I thought more so he was like a stage magician and like he was doing all these miracles, but it was more like sleight of hand. But he just didn't tell anybody, and like he got this giant following and all that. But he was a sleight of hand magician.
What if the reason is that he died was because someone just got so mad that all his food was just like switching into different items, and he was like, "I can't do this anymore," and it drove him insane. And then later in history, it was just misrecorded. They were like, he must have hated him. It's like he was just driven insane by his food items, constantly replacing.
Yeah, foodie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was like Bobby Flay's like ancestor that like murdered Jesus, the magician.
I'm imagining now some time traveling that must be going on here. Bobby Flay travels back in time.
Yeah, I heard that Bobby Flay he got this special. He's like really into conserving the environment and all this, so he wanted to find alternative food sources. Uh, fuel sources for his vehicle. So he started
Burning
taking his spice
Jesus?
time.
Oh.
Well, yeah. So he burns cheeses, and that fuels his electric engine. But also he puts thyme in the gas tank, the spice.
Ah.
So it's a hybrid, half cheese, half thyme.
Is that how Cheez-Its are made?
No, what Cheez-Its are is when Bobby Flay cuts a square in the cheese, and then he points at it and says "it."
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
See, I think it's kind of messed up that all these cheeses are being blatantly murdered for crackers, because I mean, you've seen the commercials, right? Where like they're in a lab, like they're talking to the cheese, and the cheese is like, "Oh, hey man," and they're like, "Oh, it's not ready. It's not mature enough." And then when it matures, they take it in the back and they kill it.
They, yeah, they don't fuck it. They kill it.
They might do
Well,
that too. I mean, it's I don't know what kind of experiments they're doing at this laboratory. I don't know if they're coming up with some Cheez-It infused cracker, calling it white cheddar.
mm, yeah, isn't it redundant to call a cheese cracker white cheddar? Can't you just call it cheddar?
Yeah, back in the segregation days of cheese, they started segregating the white cheddar from the yellow cheddar.
Oh, and there's also the aged in cheddar too. So,
Yeah, it's been a problem
yeah,
for years.
yeah.
They've been I personally, well, they have started doing mixed packages where they put like white cheddar, yellow cheddar, I think sometimes jack cheese, pepper jack cheese. They throw it all into one bag. It's great. They don't do that all the time.
Yeah, I heard that they actually delegated all of the interns for the Asian cheddar, um, but I think that was just a rumor.
I hope. I mean, there's definitely like
They
crimes.
even built like they even built like camps for these interns. I think they called them internment camps for the aged cheddar.
It's terrible.
But I could be wrong about that.
I think it's time that someone brings the Cheez-It company to justice, quite frankly. Again, they're doing experiments on different cheeses. They're keeping camps and segregating cheese. And I've had enough of it, quite frankly. I've had enough. Someone needs to go and stop them. And then they release they release these commercials admitting it. They're just admitting to like to experimenting on cheese. They show them in the lab with the scientist interviewing them. It's sick.
It is sick. That's why I hold people who are lactose intolerant in such high regard, that their belief system is held so strongly against Cheez-Its that their body physically is repulsed by eating Cheez-Its.
No.
And it's a mind over matter kind of thing. So if you're lactose intolerant, keep fighting
No.
against the oppression of the Cheetos and the Cheez-Its organizations.
No. I think that you're putting them out of their misery is what you're doing. You're putting them out of your misery, and I think it's a weakness that you can to put them out. Anyone who's lactose intolerant. So, yeah.
You're saying that we need to kill all of the lactose intolerant people?
No, I'm just saying that you gotta be willing to put the cheese out of their misery. They've been experimented, they've been thrown into a box, and then you have to eat them.
I think the biggest box of them all is actually these giant walls that we've put these Cheez-Its in mentally and emotionally. And we just really want Cheez-Its to go out and explore the vast galaxy that we exist within. And just because they're square and just because they're baked doesn't mean they're any different from you and me.
All Cheez-Its are terrorists. They're terrorists.
I've heard that people like to eat Cheez-Its on a terrace. Like, it's kind of like a nice place to eat them outdoors.
You know what they're dropping off those terraces? Bombs.
Cheddar bombs.
For every Cheez-It that you don't eat, it is killing 5/3 of a person.
I've heard that.
Dangerous.
That cheese is so dangerous. That cheese is a bad cheese.
That's going to be I've heard that's like a Billie Eilish's new song. Bad cheese. It's not bad guy. It's actually bad cheese. It's like part 2 to that song.
Oh. That cheese is a bad cheese. And then at the very end, but at the end of the song, they actually have in the music video, there's like this can of cheese, and she spirals it around, and then it actually is one of those videos, you know, when it like looks like one thing, but then it like kind of automatically like spins and then becomes like something else. So that cheese, she does that. And then the last word she said was bad cheese, and then it turns into Wiz Khalifa.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's some symbolism there. There's got to be some symbolism there.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps. I mean, Wiz Khalifa, as you all know, he's driven a car before, so. Do you know who that is?
Cars? The movie? I know Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
Tomater?
Now, that just makes me think about something. Do you want to know what it is?
What is it? What is it?
You do? You're sure?
Hmm?
Oh. Okay. I wasn't sure if you wanted to hear, but they have the.
Time's up.
Oh shit!
You
go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I mean we have overtime. We can. Time. Matt.
That's cheese.
Do you have a favorite kind of cheese?
Gouda.
Gouda. I like Buddha.
Yeah. There's this song called Bedrock by Young Money. It's a record label. And one of the lyrics by this artist, I believe his name is Gouda, but he says, "It's Gouda, Gouda." And what he's coming out to the world that he's actually made of cheese.
Damn.
But then he says something like, he's bagging, and I got your girl grocery bag. So first of all, he doesn't care about the environment, obviously, because he's using a plastic bag to get groceries. And so, I mean, why is your girlfriend in the freezer section at a grocery? Why is she in the freezer section of the grocery store right next to the frozen pizzas? I mean, how are you dating somebody that can be bought at a store?
Yeah, and imagine getting cucked by cheese.
It's only $4.99 for your girlfriend. So
yeah, I mean, that's the power of
And it's
cheddar.
$3.99 with a coupon anyway. So like, even $1 less than I said before.
Cheddar's powerful. I mean, I guess he's Gouda, but still, Gouda's using that cheddar to cuck you. Basically, that's the story. It's about.
No, chicken's on the next aisle in the deli.
It is. So they have to go to the deli, and then that's where it happens. Deli aisle.
Yeah, and Gutta may be just rich, a rich dude with a swagger, but he's buying someone's girlfriend from the grocery store, you know? It's kind of honestly like a deplorable act in many ways. Number one, there are laws against selling humans, right? So first of all, whoever he's singing about, whoever has this girlfriend, is doing illegal.
It happened
things, and
in
it just
Portugal.
Oh, it was in a different country.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't
that
even
grocery store was a
consider that.
brothel. It was a brothel.
It was a brothel.
Yeah.
I can see that now.
Now you may ask, what is cheese doing in a brothel? I don't know. What kind of foods would be at a brothel? I feel like if you have like cheese on a table, you think that turns away customers? Do you think they look and they like, oh, it's not a good
What do you
cheese.
want to know? If they're repulsed by cheese, or what kind of?
I mean,
food
just
would
by
be?
like any certain kind of foods. Like that's if there's like a meatloaf on the table, it's like that makes me want. Oh, that makes me want to leave.
Anything that reminds them of their caretaker, I think, would be repulsive.
Or maybe just like a food that like you'd eat and afterwards you just feel like, oh, you just be like, oh, I gotta go home and take a nap.
Yeah. Well, what's like just Thanksgiving foods, you know?
A feast, a Thanksgiving feast.
That'd be just insane. Like, if there was a brothel called Thanksgiving Yeast.
That sounds. It sounds like there's something going around at that brothel.
You could tell that I was just there, actually.
That sounds like there was a massage parlor in Florida that was investigated for sex trafficking, and it was called like something flower, like petite flowers or something. It was something really strange. Just not hiding it very well at that point, you know.
At least they have traffic laws when they're. Because imagine, like, doing sex.
You know that could be a problem. It's just that there's too much traffic. If there was less traffic, then nobody would show up.
But what I'm getting at here is, like, trafficking is also, like, it's like trafficking is like organizing so that like people can drive on the streets and stuff, you know? So it's like there's this organizational component to this trafficking that like I think goes unappreciated.
I prefer going hiking. I don't like trafficking.
Yeah, you're an elitist because you believe in the monarchy.
Hierarchy. Sometimes it just has to be.
Up in the mountains when you go hiking, yeah. But at this massage parlor, there might be a lower hierarchy. Maybe some people with some BBLs coming up from Cuba. That that lower
Bacon,
hierarchy.
bacon, bananas, and lettuce. BBL. I prefer a BLT personally, but BBL is fine.
I heard a BBL was when they took Wiz Khalifa and had him spit into a jar, and then women took those jars and put them in their back pocket.
How much?
In this country, I think 40 grand, but if you go to Greece, you could do it for maybe 18.
It's not bad. It's good.
Yeah. It takes them a couple days to spit. Each mason jar is about 32 ounces worth of his spit.
Does he suffer from a dry mouth?
Indeed, he does.
It's important to stay hydrated. You can drink tea. I'm out of tea, but tea's good.
Yeah. I've never been to Brazil.
I've never been to Venezuela.
I've never been to Chile.
I've never been to Iceland. It's too cold.
Is that a town in Iceland?
There's a ice town. It's the capital.
Called Too Cold?
Too cold. South Dakota. I've never been there.
Oh, I heard Dakota Johnson's from there.
True. She doesn't go to South Dakota, though. Just North Dakota.
No. She only has gone to the northernmost of the 50 Shades states.
Think gray because black and white makes gray. But if you paint your face black, you're pretty much a Canadian at that point. Gray must live on the border.
Checks out.
I want to know what happened to Mr. Blue in that movie. What'd they do with him? About Mr. Green? Mr. Orange? Mr. Red? Robert Yellow.
Harrison Ford.
I don't like that car very much. Like in the movie Cars. Harrison? Don't even hear from him.
Don't hear from Harrison. But in an alternate universe, Lightning McQueen was a red Ford.
Changed his name from Harrison.
Yeah, his dad's name was Harrison Bob Ford.
The third.
Mm-hmm. Harrison Bob Kachow Ford the third.
This is why I think that we really need to stop Harrison Ford from having affairs with cars. It's already on the third generation.
Cars. I want to be honest, I didn't hear what you said.
I feel like we should encourage Harrison Ford to have more affairs with cars. We need more Fords, you know.
Yeah, I'm all for any sorts of like carnivals or anything like that.
Like clowns.
Yeah, perhaps. Talking more about like when you get out to more rural areas and they have grounds dedicated for community gatherings.
I prefer crowns.
Yeah, but crowns are expensive.
Not if you go to the dentist. Oh, you need
Is that what
insurance, though.
you need insurance to go see the royal family?
Sometimes. It might kill you. Life insurance is a good policy.
And that means that you kidnap one of their kin and hold them for ransom?
Yeah. If you have insurance though, that might jeopardize your policy. You'll be high risk.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't ever the best at playing Jeopardy, so I'll just take my chances.
I've heard the king's toes go for a lot of money these days.
Usually don't see the king's toes.
Rated pretty poorly on WikiFeet.
I'm surprised they even got a picture. I've seen 4 kings.
Did they
And
have
all
their
I see is
toes?
their torso
Torso.
and head. Well, I gotta say the Canadian, very good. Very good. You want to do a little freestyle?
Okay. Okay, we could try it. I feel like there's a little bit of of a delay happening. It feels like, or not a delay. It's like a What am I thinking? There's like whenever you talk into your mic, there's a moment where like it sounds like there's a gate on your mic.
Yeah, you cut it out there.
It sounds like there's a gate on your mic. Like it sounds like
Oh, I can turn that off.
yeah.
Oh no, it's not on.
Oh. It's doing this weird thing where it's like whenever you talk, there's like a lot of background noise all of a sudden, and then it stops.
What about now?
That's better.
No,
That's better.
Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear that. But I hear you.
Can you hear this? Can you hear this?
I can hear that. It's muted, but I can hear it.
You can hear this?
No. No.
Really? Do you hear this? See this thing moving?
I do. Oh. I almost heard something. There was a little something in there. But nothing now.
You can't fucking hear this?
Oh, now I hear it. Nope. Now it's gone.
You can only hear it when I'm talking also. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I can only hear it when you're talking.
Okay, let's see. It's not possible to stop this. Well, it's no use then. Here, I'll
Is that going to be our
rap.
beat?
Well, because the beat was going to be the metronome. But here, you can hear it now, right?
No.
La 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 la.
Yeah.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Okay.
La 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 la. Then you rap. La 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 la.
Canadians.
La, la,
Canada. Torsos. It cuts out sometimes. Beat is cutting out. I am out. Feet. Oh no, now I can't hear it. It's gone.
I am a race car. My name is Lightning McQueen. My dad is Harrison. He doesn't have hair on him. His body because he got LASIK surgery.
I can't. It cuts out. It cuts.
It's okay. It's okay. I can still hear it.
Okay.
My dad is a car, but he didn't dress like in blackface because he didn't want to be Canadian anymore. He didn't want to be Canadian, so he went to Dakota with the 50 states, and then he made a mistake. He ate some cheese and then he became a Japanese. So, how was that?
That's gonna be hit the charts tomorrow. I guarantee it.
Hit the charts. Pretty good little device though.
It is, yeah. Do you use that for your use that for the music whenever you're making something?
Yeah, try listen to how fast it goes.
Oh. I've got an electronic one of those, but I feel like the I can't like actually like have it out loud. It's like you have to plug in your headphones into it to hear it. But it's
Really?
kind yeah, and it's weird. It's supposed to be for guitar, but it's kind of like it's useless if you don't like if you use it for like into a program or something and you're trying to like record into like a software and you want to have your headphones on, it's kind of pointless because if you plug it into that, then you can't hear the program. And at least with that, at least you can kind of hear that in the background, you know?
When I record in Ableton, I just record using the metronome in Ableton. This is just for like practicing on my acoustic guitar, really.
Okay, so you just use it for guitar purposes then too, or instrument
Yeah.
practice. Okay, yeah,
But
because
I don't need headphones, which is good.
yeah, that is the annoying thing is that you do have to wear headphones. I guess there really is no other purpose for like a metronome outside of a recording software, but the headphone thing is annoying. That's why I've been thinking it's not the best. And then it sounds like it's weird because it's like almost like muted
Do you
too.
want to stop the stream?
Yeah, I think it is a good time. I think we've lost the momentum.
I'm happy to talk about this stuff, but it's not for the
I agree.
online.
We'll end it there. We've been going for like
55 minutes. I think.
yeah, I think around. That was the last stream too. All right. Well, that's going to do it. Adios.